you talked with Jalen Waddle yet? Compared notes on how you two can team up and review secondaries?
You know what? I actually DM'd him last night, just for his phone number. I had to get his number. I was supposed to be calling him, but it's like so much has been going on today, man, and like it's like crazy. I'm like trying to take it all in at once, but believe me, once I'm able to sit down, I'm gonna talk to him. We're gonna chop it up. We even gonna get a few workouts in. Maybe even a race, man. Because, hey, wherever I go to Cheetah, he always got to prove he the fastest on the team no matter what. I mean that.
Tyreek Hill ready to race anyone and everyone, but you know what? Those races never happen. Wasn't he going to race Usain Bolt, and that never happened? It's very easy to say you're going to race everybody. You never do it. I mean, he's fast. That's fine. I could say it, too. I'll race anybody. As long as it never actually happens, no one can ever prove that they're faster than me. So, although I'm not quite as confident as Tyreek Hill would be if it actually happened. It would be much easier to call my bluff than it would be to call his bluff. All right, best receiver duo currently in the NFL based upon the recent trades. Who would you put in that category, Charean?
Well, I do like the Dolphins, but I'm going to go with the Rams simply because I think Cooper Kupp had arguably the greatest season in NFL history for a receiver last year. 145 catches, almost 2,000 yards and 16 touchdowns. It was just an outstanding year, and he continued that into the postseason. So you've got to put him right up there in the top 2 or 3 receivers, along with Davante Adams and with Tyreek Hill as one of the top receivers in the NFL. And then they just obtained Allen Robinson, obviously, and he's going to play with the best quarterback he's ever played with. 14 touchdowns in 2015 when he made his only Pro Bowl. In 2020, he had 102 catches for over 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns. So I think that's the best receiving duos, but there's quite a few of them now in the NFL.
The way this is framed is best WR duo in the NFL. If it was just best pass-catching duo, I'd be tempted to say Davante Adams and Darren Waller, the tight end in Las Vegas, and obviously Adams, the new number 1 receiver. As it relates to 2 wide receivers, I like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, but I want a better quarterback there. It's kind of hard to be the best receiving duo without a high-end quarterback. I'll go Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. I think Thielen's got a couple more years left before he starts to decline. Justin Jefferson is entering the front end of his prime, and I think in that offense, with Kevin O'Connell incorporating the Rams offense, Kirk Cousins, if they can protect him a little bit more, I think that Jefferson and Thielen could be the best this year. Which quarterback is most annoyed by their team's offseason moves? Charean, who do you have?
Well, judging by Eric Burkhart's tweet last Friday, I would say Kyler Murray probably is, but I think Dak Prescott should be. When you look at all of the Cowboys' losses, specifically on offense, I mean, he's lost Amari Cooper and La'el Collins, 2 of his very best friends and 2 of the best players on that Cowboys offense. Connor Williams, Blake Jarwin, Cedric Wilson, Randy Gregory. Yes, they signed James Washington. Yes, they signed Dante Fowler, but this to me looks like a lesser talented team than it was last season at this point. And I realize the Cowboys have drafted great in recent years. Tip of the hat to what they've done. But as of right now today, Mike, they have not made enough moves to improve that roster.
Now, if we're talking about quarterbacks who are annoyed by moves relating to them, Taylor Heineke would be an obvious person to be miffed because he was kicked to the curb by Washington as a practical matter, even though he's still under contract. And Baker Mayfield obviously annoyed by what's happened in Cleveland. That's a given.
Yeah.
But as it relates to other moves, I think it's got to be Aaron Rodgers. After all this buildup, after the new contract, and after him saying, I don't want to be part of a rebuilding effort, and the receiving core is in shambles, and they mishandled it. They could have re-signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling before trading Davante Adams. They could have kept Davante Adams. They could have offered Davante Adams a major contract during the 2021 season and avoided him even getting to the point where he became determined to get to the Raiders. You leave the door open by not getting it done. That's where the Packers screwed this up. It's very easy for Adams to say, now, well, Derek Carr and I spent time in the offseason trying to figure out how to make this happen. If you put an offer in front of Davante Adams before he gets a chance to talk to Derek Carr, before he gets a chance to consider what it's going to be like to work somewhere else, it never happens. That's where the Packers effed this up. So I'd say Aaron Rodgers. Which quarterback that was traded will benefit the most from a fresh start, Charean?
I'm going to go with Matt Ryan simply because he's a former league MVP, Mike. 2017 was the last time he had a winning record, or his team had a winning record with him as a starter. 2016 was his last Pro Bowl, and of course he was MVP and the All-Pro quarterback that season. But this is just a huge upgrade in talent. Colts had the most Pro Bowlers in the NFL last season. They have a good offensive line, much better than Atlanta. They have a good running game, much better than Atlanta. He threw too many passes over the last 3 seasons. He'll throw less passes this season, and I will predict he will be more effective.
I'll go Deshaun Watson, assuming that he truly gets a fresh start. And the fresh start means settle the cases, take your punishment, have your reckoning, and then move on. He'll benefit on the field and off the field from doing that. And I still continue to believe there's an element of stubbornness, stridence, and extreme confidence that he's going to win these 22 cases. And I'm sorry, 22 is too many for me to say that nothing happened here. It's all one big misunderstanding, or it's some grand conspiracy or something like that. 22, not 2, 22. It's hard to get a reasonable person of average intelligence, which I may not be reasonable, but I'll at least say I've got average intelligence, to say that 22 means, yeah, you're going to go to court and you're going to win all of them. He's going to have a hard time. He needs to do the right thing, put these behind him, and move on.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.